Hello and welcome back to Fantastic Fiber. Today I am going to teach you how to do a continuous join using granny squares. I am using an eye hook or a 5.5 millimeter. Oops, my ring took that away. For this I am using Premier Basics worsted yarn. It's a 4-weight and it doesn't matter how many yards you get in it because this is just a tutorial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the yarn on my hook with a slip knot, just like that. And we are going to start out with 1 square. Now for this tutorial, I'm going to be using 9 of them. So however many squares are in the project that you're completing, just make sure you have them all done first. And then once they are finished, you're going to put your final round on through connecting them, joining them. So I'm using white as my base square, and the gray is for so that you can see it through the tutorial. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and chain 1. That's just to give us the height. That is not for a stitch. Now I like to do double crochet for this, so we're going to double crochet 3 into our corner. Now I like to start in the corner. I don't know how many of you enjoy doing that or not, but it helps, especially with continuous join, because when you come all the way around the square, you're going to come back and you'll be able to join directly to right here, and it'll make, you know, a nice corner there. So that's how I do my squares anyway. And you can do them however you want, but this is the way that I do them for this especially. So we're going to go ahead and double crochet. Oops. Let me get my yarn. All the way around. 3 of the sides. Okay, so we're just doing 3 sides. Now, for those of you who do not know how to double crochet, I am sorry, I just kind of hopped right into it. I just assumed that you would know how to double crochet since you already have granny squares ready for the project. I have to remember to stay looking at the camera, not at my hands, because I end up, every time I look at my hands, you see this go over there. So, we're going to go ahead and do that here. And I'm going to adjust my seat so you'll hear a hissing. There we go. Move us a little further away from the camera so we're not so close. Okay. And that, yes, that is an air ride seat. I am a truck driver, if you haven't heard. I am a crocheting trucker. And this is probably one of the only chances I will have in a long time to actually bang out a tutorial. So I'm hoping that I can do this whole thing in one sitting. Now I don't know how you like to do your corners. I like to chain 3. Some people like to chain 2. I chain 3. And we're only going to be doing that for some of our corners once we get going. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. Alright, so we're now on side 3. And we are getting ready to join our second square. So we're going to go all the way down to this corner and only do half of the corner. Do not chain anything, okay? And from here on out, I will slow down because I'm sure that was quick. So this is how much we have done so far. I'm going to grab our second square. And this is how we're going to do it, okay? So we're going to go ahead and make sure that they're facing the same way. So the front side, you'll know because it has the chain across the top, around the edges. You'll see the chain better than if you were to flip it over. You see what I mean? There's the right side, and that's the wrong side. Okay, so we're going to put 2 right sides together, and then we're going to put them up like this, and turn it so that the square you're about to work on is facing you. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start a double crochet. So yarn over, go into the corner, yarn over, come out, yarn over, take off 2, yarn over, take off 2. So just regular double crochet. We're going to do 3 double crochet without touching that first square yet. Okay, so now we have our 3 double crochet. As you see, keep it folded like this, and we are going to go ahead and go in this space here. If you see that, we're going to go in here, yarn over, and slip stitch that on, just like that. And I'll have plenty of chances of showing you that again, because we're going to go ahead and continue. Put your 3 double crochet right into this space here, only on this square, and then you're going to pick up that first square again, and you are going to go ahead, yarn over, and slip stitch onto that piece again, onto that first square. And we're going to move into that next space there. We're going to yarn over and go back into the second square and do 3 double crochet right here. Okay, and then back up into the first square, yarn over, and slip stitch. And this is pretty much what we're doing the whole way around. So we're going to go ahead and go into the next space, and this time it's the corner space, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so no chaining here. You're just going to put your 3 double crochet in there, then you're going to go into the corner space of your first square, slip stitch into that, yarn over, and go right back into the corner of the second one that you were working on, and put your 3 double crochet again. Okay, so now we are connected to the first square. Here we go. See that? So now we're going to do exactly what we did with the first square, and we're going to make sure that we are 3 parts, 3 sides finished and 1 side unfinished. And we are going to go ahead and zoom through that real quick. If I am going too fast for you to crochet the edging to get around to the next square, then just feel free to either slow me down or put me on pause while you catch up, and I will, you know, whatever you I don't know what I will, but you get the drift. You can slow me down through the settings, or you can pause me and do what you need to do to catch up. Okay, so we are now hitting that third side here. Is this as small as it goes? Yep, this is as small as it goes. Sorry folks, I am working with very limited space in here, and it's so close to the camera, and I'm having a difficult time seeing the camera. Okay, so this is going to be down into our corner. We are going to go ahead and get the last part of this side finished by finishing up this corner, just half of this corner. And now we are going to grab a third square, and again you're going to go like this. Make sure that your right sides, front facing sides, are facing up, and then you're going to put them together, pinch them together, and turn it so that the square that you're going to work on is facing you. So yarn over and go directly into that corner space and start your first double crochet, and then just go ahead and do half a corner by putting your 3 double crochets there. Now we're going to go ahead to that second square. Okay, now we're going to go in there, yarn over, come out, and slip stitch that on, and then yarn over, work back into that third square you're working on, and put 3 double crochet. Okay, now we're going back to the second square, inserting our hook, yarning over, coming out, and slip stitch. Okay, and again into the third square, 3 more double crochet. Oops, just like that, and then into the second square again. We're going to yarn over, slip stitch, and start into our corner of the third square. And again, we're in the corner, so we're only doing half of the corner. 3 double crochet, and then go to the corner of the second square and yarn over, slip stitch into it, and there you go. So now you have 1, 2, and 3 squares. Now the third square, this is the final square in my row. Now, I don't know if you have 10 rows or 10 squares in one row or 3 squares in one row, but when you get to the last square of your row, you're not going to complete 3 rounds. You're only going to complete so that half of the square is crocheted on. So there's the rest of our corner. So now we're going to yarn over, move into the next space, 3 double crochet, yarn over, next space, 3 double crochet. Now, I don't know how big your square is. Obviously, if you have a larger square, you're going to have more than just a few spaces. So now we're at the corner. This is how I do my tails, just in case you're not sure how to do yours. I do 1 double crochet, then I grab that tail and I bend it this way, and I yarn over, and then I crochet directly on top of it, just like that. So it's kind of tucked underneath. Okay, now this is the end of row 1. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to row 2, and by doing so, we're going to put this up here this time, line them up so that they're front facing, and we're going to fold it this way and do exactly the same thing to join it. So yarn over and just double crochet into, now see, you're going to be seeing the front of it every time on facing you and the back of the other square, so that they're facing the right way. So we're going to go ahead and do half a corner, so 3 double crochet right here. We're going to insert our hook to the third square of the previous row, yarn over and slip stitch it, and then we're going to go ahead and yarn over, put 3 more double crochet into that next space, insert our hook right here in the previous square, and slip stitch, yarn over, and work into the next space of your square that you're currently working on, and make 3 double crochet. Okay, and again, we're going into the previous row and we're slip stitching onto it. And now we are at the corner, so we're going to go ahead and yarn over and do 3 double crochet right here. And then what I like to do, and this is just the way I do it, instead of matching up right here with this square here, I like to crisscross them. So I'm going to take this one and go in this side in the next square and slip stitch so that it looks like that. Now we're not going around the square this way this time, okay, and I'll show you why in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and grab our next square, so this is going to be square number 2 in row number 2, yarn over, and we're going to go ahead and create 3 double crochet into this corner space. Okay, and we are going to go ahead and slip stitch into this space here, yarn over, and 3 double crochet into the square. Okay, now this is going to be, when we go around these ones, you're going to see that this is how the row repeats. So every row of squares, you're going to start the way that I started this one, and you're going to just keep working across the way that we're doing with this one. So up here, slip stitch back into that previous row, yarn over, and let's get into that corner here. Okay, and into the corner of that other previous row, and it would be square number 1, the one that we started in. That's where I like to slip stitch into the following square. So now we're going to grab square number 3 of row number 2, and so far this is what it looks like, 2 flaps. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and flap on that third one there. And we're going to create our corner, or half a corner, yarn over, and 3 double crochet. Oops, there we go. And then we're going to attach it to the previous row with a slip stitch, yarn over, 3 more double crochet into the next space, and slip stitch it onto that very first square that we made. Okay, now we're going to go into the next space, 3 more double crochet, slip stitch it into place, and then we're going to yarn over, double crochet, 3 more double crochet into this corner. Then we're going to attach it, and now we're going to turn our work. We get to spin it a little bit. So as you see, I'm not chaining anything for our corners here. I'm just attaching, and it works out just fine. You end up with no big gaping gaps or anything like that. So now we're going to finish our corner, put 3 more double crochet right there in that same space, and work into the next space. Now we are going to go around everything, and you'll see this is a little more like what we did in the first row, but this is the repeat. So you'll come across and attach each square individually, and then you bend the corner, or turn the corner as I like to say, and make your way around the square. Oops. Okay, and as you see, before we go attaching anything, this is what it ends up looking like from the front. So squares are attached, and there's no yarn over here and no crochet gray at the bottom, so you're going to go up and around like that, coming around, going down here, connecting this side, going across the top, down here, connecting that side, around the top, and around again when we attach the last row. Okay, so now let me get in the center here. We're going to finish, now that I'm done going off topic a little bit, off task, we're going to go ahead and go around our squares with 3 double crochet in each space, and get to the corner, double crochet 3, chain 2 or 3, whichever way you enjoy doing it, and then 3 more double crochet into the same space to create your corner there. And then we are going to go ahead and continue on, placing 3 double crochet in each empty space here. Now when I do these tutorials, guys, I'd like you to leave me in the comments. Let me know, am I going too fast for you? I don't know if I'm too slow or too fast. I'm pretty new at doing tutorials. So if you could just drop a comment and let me know, I'd appreciate it. Now we're at the corner here, so we put our last 3 double crochet in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, remember how we went into this one? Now we're going to go into this one. So we're going to connect it just like that, slip stitch into it, turn your work again, and now you're going to put 3 double crochet into this next square here to complete that corner. So we put 3 in there, right, and attach it to here by slip stitching. So now I want you to see there's a corner that we created in there. Pretty neat, huh? Okay, so let's continue. Now we're going to go ahead and put 3 more double crochet into this next space here. Slip stitch and attach it to there. Then we're going to put 3 more double crochet. Oops. Attach it to the previous square. 3 more double crochet. And now we're going to build our corner again. So now we get to attach to the corner of the first one. Slip stitch in. And as you notice, no chains again. We're just going to slip stitch and move on to the next 3 double crochet. There we go. Let's see, can that be seen? Yes, that's seen. Okay. See that? All right, let's continue on. So now we're going to go ahead and put 3 double crochet all the way around. Get to our corner, 3 double crochet. And you can do 2 or 3 chains, and then 3 more double crochet. Let me move this out of the way. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and move in to the side. 3 double crochet. Next chain or next space here. I don't put a chain space in my granny squares unless I'm doing the granny square with the spikes on them. Then I put the chain on them. Okay, so now again, this is how I tuck my ends. I let 1 double crochet go over top of it, then I bend it back this way and put my last 2 double crochets right over top of it, and then I'll snip that off at the end. Okay, and so now, so that you don't get confused, when we attached this one, we went into this space here. Now that we're going to attach this corner, we're going to go into this space right here, crisscrossing them, so that it gives it a sturdier hold. That's the way I prefer to do it, and that's what it looks like after you've done it. So there we go. Okay, so now let's move on to the last side. This is my end, your hopefully your end as well. Whether you have more squares than me or not, you should, you know, make sure that this, when you get to the end, this is what it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and continue to attach and put our 3 double crochet in each space there, and attach. Oops. 3 double crochet. Okay, attach, 3 more double crochet. Now we're building our corner again. Don't mind the noise, that would be my husband. It is I guess snack time. And you know, living in a truck with everybody, or with, you know, with one other person, you kind of have to make you know, noises that other people might have to hear.
Can you hear me chewing?
Oh, we can hear you messing with your wrapper.
All right.
No. Okay, so now we've come around, we've attached our corner, and now we're finishing that corner. Now this part of the row, we're only going to the next corner. That's it. We're not turning the corner. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the end. And now that we are in our corner, we're only going to crochet half of the corner. So 1, 2, and 3. No chains. Okay, so now we're going to flip our work upside down. Grab your next piece. Oh, let me show you what we have so far, actually. There you go. So you have 2 rows, and this is the way the joins look. After, excuse me, after we wash it, this all flattens out much better and it lays nicer. The corners, they tend to stay flat from the very beginning, but the ridges where you place it together, they flatten out after you wash it. Okay, and as you see, we have a bare edge and a bare edge, and then we have a finished edge and a finished edge. So we are going to go ahead and continue along the finished edge, and what I do is I flip my work upside down once I get to a certain progress of how far I've gone. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get in the camera view here, yarn over, and we're going to go into that next square here and put 3 double crochet. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and attach that and move into the next space here and crochet our 3 double crochet, and we're going to go ahead and go straight across again. So as you see, this is a repeat. We're doing exactly what we did in the last row. We're just going to go ahead and crochet just enough to attach the last row to the next row. Okay. Now that we're in our corner, we're only building half of the corner. And again, I like to take this side and move to this side to hold the corner together better. Okay. And now we're going to move on to our next square. Oops. And yarn over. And again, we're going to work right into the corner here. And we're doing half of a corner, so only 3 double crochet, no chains. Okay, we're going to go ahead and attach to the previous row, slip stitching it in there, and add 3 more double crochet. You guessed it. What do you win? You win a granny square blanket. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue on. We're almost to the corner again. Attach, and now that we're in our corner, we're going to go ahead and only build half of the corner by doing 3 double crochet. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move into the final square and get this last one on there. We're going to yarn over and put 3 double crochet into that corner there. Okay. Oops. My hands keep tapping the camera because it's so like confined in here, like everything is so close to you, you know. So my hands are just a few inches from the camera, and I accidentally keep hitting the camera, the stand, and the wire. Alright, we are almost done with this. So now we're going to go ahead and yarn over, slip stitch into the previous row, go ahead into the next space, and crochet 3 double crochet, slip stitch, and crochet 3 double crochet into that final space here, and create our corner. So we're going to go ahead and put those 3 there, slip stitch into the corner from the previous row, and this is what you should have, something that looks like this. Okay, now we're going to turn our work and we're going to finish the corner. I'm still not chaining anything there, just so you know. We're just going to go ahead, just going to go ahead and put 3 double crochet and finish that corner out. Okay, and make our way all the way around the square again. So maybe I can get this a little further back. There we go. And now now we go into our corner. Chain 2 or 3. I usually do 3, but you know, for the tutorial I tend to do 2 since that's what a lot of other people tend to do. So now we are going to come around the corner and double crochet 3 double crochet into each space. Oops. And since this is, you know, like I guess a 2-row repeat, if you think about it, you go around in one direction and then straight across, and then around in another direction and then straight across. So there's that. And because this is not already attached, we are going to chain to create our corner. So we only chain when it's not attached to something or not already being attached to something. If it's, you know, plain square with nothing attached, then we're gonna chain 2 for our corners. But if it's getting attached to it, then there's no chain for the corner. Oops. Okay, so here we are in the corner. Oops. Put my tail over here, put 1 double crochet over top of it, flip it over, 2 more double crochet, and this is our corner. So we're going to go ahead and attach to the next square from the previous row. Okay, so slip stitch in there like that. Okay, and we're going to turn our work again, and I'm going to flip this out of the way for camera purposes, and hopefully we can all see. I can't really tell because there is a glare over my phone, so I can't see very well to see actually where my hands are or what it looks like, but I hope I'm in view, and I hope that you could see me just fine in what I'm doing. But again, if I'm too fast, slow me down, complain in the comments section, let me know what's going on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and work our way around, going up and down around the squares and slip stitching them into the previous square. Okay, now we're on the corner. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into the corner. Now that corner has chains, this corner does not. So you just go ahead and come around and just double crochet directly into the square without having to chain anything. Okay, how's that? And so it's pretty basic and pretty easy. It took me a second to realize how easy it was when I first started doing this, but once you get the hang of it, it is quite easy. And I think, you know, just having a basic knowledge on how to crochet makes it easier to know where to put the chains and where not to put the chains. You end up too loose in your seam when you do the chain right here. It ends up separating this area from each other, so it doesn't space correctly, if you ask me. I don't know, that's just me though. Could be. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and make this corner and work our way down into the bottom corner, into the next one. 3 double crochet into each space. And here we are in our corner, so we're going to go ahead and make sure that we crochet over that tail and attach to this corner down here. So we're going to go in this space down here and slip stitch it in. Turn it, and I'll fold this up so that we can see just fine. 3 double crochet into the next square. Make sure you're attaching along the way. I have made blankets where I went a little gung-ho and I forgot to attach a few places and had to go back. And well, with me, if I can do it without having to frog something, then I will. I'll leave a mistake in and not frog it as long as I don't have a future problem from not frogging, if that makes sense. So I'll show you in a second what I ended up doing. So we're going to take this and make our final corner over here and attach it, oops, to the previous corner with a slip stitch. And now we've gone and done our 3rd row. I am right here, so we have these ones here, and we're going to go ahead and continue this last portion here. Now this is going to be your last square in your whole project. So if it's a baby blanket and you're attaching this last square onto your baby blanket, you're going to go ahead and continue on this time. So this isn't for when you have extra rows to do. You're going to go ahead and complete each row the way that we did the previous rows. And then when we get down to this corner here, on the final row, no more squares left, we're going to go ahead and make and complete a full corner. So, ooh-wee, I seen a green Peterbilt just pull in. It is pretty and chromed out. Sorry, I'm a geek for some trucks. Some trucks. Okay, so now we've got our full corner. And we're going to go ahead and go all the way around. So, we're going to start where we're at, obviously. We're going to work all the way across to the next corner. Okay? And then we're going to turn our work the way that you normally would. And we're going to go ahead and go all the way across until we come back to where we started. Okay? So let's go ahead and see what that ends up looking like. So we're going to go ahead and continue to double crochet. And every time we get to a join, we're going to, where we met 2 squares and joined them together, I'll show you how to get to the next square. It's not too difficult. Okay, so now we have a tail here. So I'm going to crochet over it. Just like that. And now that we've hit this, this is going to be our first join. So our corner has to close. So here I do 1 chain. And then I go in here and I slip stitch on, chain 1, and then double crochet into the next corner. You see? Okay, so the camera cut off. My phone had gotten too hot. So I'm going to go ahead and start right here and show you again. So now that we've connected this side, we're going to go ahead and chain 1 here and put 3 double crochet, and then move into the next space, 3 double crochet, oops, okay, and keep on moving through, placing 3 double crochet in each space until we get to the corner. So again, there's a tail. We're going to crochet over it, flip it over, and put 2 more double crochet right over top of it. Oops, that's a little crisscross. There we go. So that's right there now. Now we're going to go ahead and chain 1. We're going to connect right here by slip stitching in there, and that leaves you with a little space there. So now we're going to chain 1, and here's the rest of our tail from the previous rows or previous crochet. So we're going to go ahead and hold that down and crochet 3 double crochet right over top of it. Move on, 3 double crochet. Okay, keep on going into the next space, 3 more double crochet. Now we're into the corner space, so we're going to go ahead and put 3 double crochet, and since this is a regular corner, we're going to let the corner be a corner, and we're going to go ahead and do our chains, and then we're going to put 3 more double crochet in there. Okay, and keep on moving on into the next space. 3 double crochet into the next space, 3 double crochet. Oops. And just so you guys know, I leave all my mistakes in my videos because I hate redoing it, and I don't like doing more than one take. So you get to see all of my mess ups. Alright, so now that we're in the corner, we do our 3 double crochet, chain 1, connect in between these 2 squares with a slip stitch, chain 1, and put 3 double crochet into the next space, or into the same corner, I should say. Into the next corner. Yes, the next corner, that one. Okay, so this is where we're at now. We have just this left. That's it, from there to there. So let's go ahead and continue on. 3 double crochet. Hey, if any of you have any natural remedies for heartburn besides lemon and mint, I would appreciate it. I get heartburn so bad, and I don't even have to eat anything greasy or spicy or anything. It just happens. It's not fair. Okay, so there's the corner. So we're going to go ahead and put our first 3 in there. Chain 1. Go up to the space there between the squares, slip stitch, chain 1, and now we're on that last square there, and this is the last square for me. So if you still have more squares, go ahead and get all the way around until you're around to your final square and you're getting ready to join, or not join, I'm sorry, getting ready to close. So we're going to go ahead and close this round in just a second. And I'll show you how to do that as soon as I get there. Last 3. Now we're going to go ahead and crochet over. Now we have 2 tails. Before I even lose that one in there, we're going to pull on it a little bit. Sorry about that. Pull on it a little bit. Get it over there with the other tail. And crochet over it that way. Flip them both this way. And crochet directly over top of both of them. Last 2 double crochet, and then pull them snug if you need to. Now, since this is the last one, we're going to go ahead and yarn over. We're going to do a half double crochet in here. So yarn over, go into the top post of that very first double crochet, come on out, yarn over, and pull through all your hoops, just like a half double crochet. That's exactly what we just did. Okay, so that is how I do a continuous join. I hope that you enjoyed watching me, crocheting along with me, and learning how to do it. As you can see, all of our joins are nice and snug. We will cut all our ends off. I like my ends all on the same side so that I can cut them all off at the same time. But all of our ends are together. This is the front. And like I said, these little ridges, they will flatten out as you use it and wash it. They flatten out pretty quick. This is the back. Looks pretty cool, I think. Let's see, can I show you? There you go. Okay, so that's everything. I thank you for joining me today. I'm sure your yarn thanks you for joining it, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.